Peony in Love is based on the true story of three of what were called lovesick maidens in the mid-17th century in China, who together wrote the first book of its kind to have been written and published anywhere in the world written by women. And these young girls, these lovesick maidens, loved an opera called The Peony Pavilion. This was China's greatest love story, their Romeo and Juliet. The trees are bare. In the distance, the honks of morning geese. If only my tears of blood could dye red the blossoms of the plum tree, but I will never make it to spring. My heart is empty and my life has no value anymore. Each moment, 1,000 tears. Peony is very much like the main character in the opera of The Peony Pavilion. She lives in a very wealthy home. She's highly educated, rather unusual for that time. My parents adored me and made sure I was educated, highly educated. I lived a rarefied and precious existence in which I arranged flowers, looked pretty, and sang for my parents' entertainment. I was so privileged that even my maid had bound feet. Foot binding was the one thing that a mother could do for her daughter to possibly give her daughter a better chance at life. If she could give her daughter a pair of perfectly bound feet, then maybe her daughter would be able to marry into a better family and have a better life. When I came to the edge of our pond, I sank to my knees so I might see my reflection on the glassy surface. Lovesickness had caused my face to grow thin and pale. My body looked less substantial, as if it could no longer bear the weight of my tunic. My gold bracelets hung loosely on my wrists. Even my jade hairpins seemed too heavy for the lightness of my frame. Would my poet recognize me now if he saw me? We tend to think of anorexia nervosa as a modern disease, a contemporary disease. But as I was looking at the lovesick maidens that I wrote about in Peony in Love, I saw that there were tremendous parallels. And that actually, as I did the research, it turns out that anorexia is something that has appeared time and time again throughout history in different cultures. My grandmother had wanted to be heard and appreciated by her husband, only to be relegated to false martyrdom. Mama had wanted to be heard only to lose herself. I wanted to be heard, but only by one man. Wren had asked this of me in the moon viewing pavilion. He wanted this from me. He'd created the possibility for me when the world, society, and even my mother and father would have preferred me to keep silent. These girls, so many of them wrote poems and stories that were then published after they died, and their writing has survived to today. And much of that writing and the lovesick maidens that you encounter in Peony in Love were all real girls who lived, who died, but whose writing has survived to today and was a real inspiration to me.